Every project starts with a trip to the lumberyard, and our little shaker table is no different.
You've got a variety of options, from buying pre-surface lumber to buying rough lumber and milling it yourself.
And that second option's a lot cheaper. For our little table, we're going to use walnut, one of North America's most beautiful woods and one that you can't get at a home center.
Buying rough lumber and milling it yourself is a great way to raise your woodworking game, and we'll show you how to do it.
These are all the parts we need to build our little shaker table. Now, for 3/4 inch thick material like this, you can usually find it at a lumberyard, but when it comes to building these really thick legs, you're going to have to go to a hardwood dealer.
Now, you can find a hardwood dealer within about an hour's drive in most areas. And when you find one near you, we don't want you to feel intimidated when you walk in the door. So we're going to head out to one right now. By the way, we'll be getting enough lumber to build 2 of these tables.
And one other thing, bring along your cut list. We made a detailed drawing and then listed out all the parts we need to build our table. That's called the cut list, and you can get it as part of this video series.
And I like to bring a few other things when I go to buy lumber. I bring along this bag, and inside I've got gloves for handling rough lumber. Splinters can be a bear. Of course, a good old trusty tape measure. I've got the cut list in there, and a lumber crayon. Sometimes when it gets confusing and I have a lot of parts, I like to mark what the parts are on the rough boards that I buy. And the last thing is a block plane, and you'll see why when we get to the lumberyard.
It's kind of like your little woodworking purse.
Let's call it a manly satchel.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat. You driving?
Sure, you gonna buy lunch?
Yeah, maybe, but no Mexican. We got that last time.
All right, all right.
This is our local hardwood haven, Conway Lumber. And step 1 is making friends with the guy behind the desk. This is Jeff.
Hey, how are you
How
guys
you doing?
today?
Hey Jeff, what's happening?
Morning.
Hey, we're looking for some walnut for a couple small tables. We need some 4/4 maybe for the top and the rails and stuff, and then some 8/4 for the legs.
Sure, we got some stuff right over here.
So 4/4, 6/4, 8/4, those are just old lumberyard terms for 1/4 of an inch. So 4/4 an inch, 6/4 an inch and a half, and 8/4 2 inches. Pretty simple.
Right, but those measurements are for rough boards. So when we get done planing this 4/4 board, it's really going to measure in at about 3/4 of an inch.
That's true. A lot of times this board at a lumberyard will be completely rough sawn. But here, they've done something on their 4/4 lumber called hit or miss planing, where they just give it a whack through the planer and we can really see the grain. It's a nice option to have. One thing to avoid when you're buying walnut is the lighter colored sapwood that's near the outside of the log. It's got some sapwood in it, so we'll skip that one. So does this. Oh wait, here's one.
That's a good
That's
one.
nice. Let me grab my cut list out of here. Yeah, it looks like we need 8 of the rails, 4 for each table, and they're 11.5 inches long. All right, let's take a look at this one. That one looks nice.
You gotta do the card?
Oh, sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Great, found some stuff.
There's one, and there's the other one. All right, those are great for the rails. Do you have some wider stuff, though, that we could, maybe with some nice grain that we could use for the tabletop?
Sure, we got some over here.
Awesome. All right, let's take
Okay.
a look. This walnut will look wonderful with a simple clear finish, but there are plenty of beautiful hardwoods widely available, and you could make your table out of any of them. There's cherry, curly maple, white oak, exotic woods like mahogany, and many, many others. Actually, I think we can get both of our tabletops out of this one piece.
Okay, how about the shelves?
All right, let's dig a little bit. This one looks a little funky. Let's move that out. All right, here, now we're in business.
This is great. Okay, now we need that 2-inch thick walnut for the legs.
Yeah, where was that again, Jeff?
Oh, that'll be over there.
Okay, cool. Here's an 8/4 board with really nice straight grain. That could be good for our legs.
Yeah, but we're not making 10 tables, Asa.
That's true. That's a little bit more wood than we wanted to buy. Let's move that. Oh, here we go. All right, I think we can get all 8 legs out of that.
Great.
Yeah, this board is truly rough sawn. So one trick you can do at the lumberyard is actually to block plane it a little bit, just to preview the grain. But you got to ask your lumber guy, hey Jeff, is it all right if I plane on this a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, that's nice and straight. That's great. All right, I'm going to go get this tallied up.
Here's another quick tip. If you want to stay friends with your lumber guy, put the pile back the way you found it.
It cost us a little over $200 for 2 tables, so this isn't cheap. But the wood's going to be gorgeous. You definitely don't have to stain it, and these 2 tables we're going to make are going to last us a lifetime.
Here's some tips for tying down lumber. A truck or van is your best bet, but the lumberyard can help you tie boards to your car's roof rack too. They'll also cut them in half to fit them in a car, but make sure they cut them in the right place for the parts you want out of the board. If you're loading boards into a pickup truck, keep the tailgate up and rest the board on it. If you wrap a strap or plastic around the boards and then put one tie down across the back of the truck, you'll be just fine for boards as long as 12 feet. Just remember to attach a red flag or a cloth of some kind if the boards stick out more than a couple of feet from the end of your vehicle.
Well, we're back in the shop with our rough pieces. In the next episode, we'll show you how to cut them to size and mill them flat and smooth.